right. Thank you, everyone, for coming in and supporting Libri and supporting Donna.
Thank
For
you.
those who know her, and for those who don't, Donna is, beside being a published author, she is a wellness coach focused on the weight loss and also sustainable changes. Donna helps people get rid of the dieting cycles and instead create habits that are rooted on emotional balance and practical nutrition. So welcome, Donna. Thank you for being with us tonight.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Donna. Thank you for coming here. I have some questions here, but I'm not gonna start it. I'm not gonna start it right away with the questions because I saw something in a book. I'm sorry, Anita. She hates those things when we're going out of the books. You know, I see.
We are in the book.
I mean, about our book. You know.
Yes.
To my parents, Linda and Carl, if I knew then what I know now. Can you tell us more about that before we start?
Thanks. Let's start off with the tears.
This is a good thing.
Oh, excuse me. Yeah, my mom passed away very suddenly after surgery. And I always wondered if she were healthier, if she would have survived what had happened to her. And I don't have an answer to that. My dad suffered terribly. He was not healthy when she passed away. He had already had 5 heart attacks and 11 stents.
Wow.
He suffered. His body just gave out. After the last 3 years of his life, he was on oxygen. He spent the last month of his life in the hospital, just shriveling up to nothing. And my dad was a construction worker. He was a strong dude. My dad was a badass. And I just watched his body give out. And I feel that, yes, if he were healthier, he probably could have not suffered he suffered horribly. Watching it was a horrible thing to have to go through. So if I knew then what I know now, could I have helped him be healthier? And yeah, I could have.
And you dedicate this book to them.
I had to.
They will be proud of you, so.
Thank you.
I'm sure they are.
Yeah.
What a way to start.
Yes.
It's all right. It's good to remember something good.
Oh,
I'm sorry for your loss, but it's good to remember.
Before we continue, even though, just to give you some maybe piece of that, to take that out, that doctors recently discovered that even a heartbreak is a condition. That regardless of what you could offer in terms of being healthier, nothing can prevent what the heartbreak causes.
That, my father did. My father died of a broken heart. Yeah.
All right, let's continue. Let's relax. After 20 years of experience, like you did a lot and like trying with the clients, everything. What inspired you to write Weight Loss Rewired?
So I have this amazing business coach.
Okay.
Her name is Teresa Safali.
Probably here?
She had to go somewhere. She'll be back.
All right.
And
You said that in capitals.
Yes. She said to me one day, you should write a book. And I always say, I'm from Brooklyn. I barely have a grasp on the English language. How in the world am I ever going to write a book? And a couple of days later, I'm like, so I'm writing a book.
That was the moment, right?
That was it. I was like, I had a lot of this already written. It really was just a matter of figuring out how to put it into a book, you know, what to include. I've been doing this for a very long time. I had a lot of stuff already written.
All right.
So just
cool.
putting it together was like the hardest part, putting it together in an order that made sense.
Okay, this is cool. I mean, at least you finished it.
I did finish it. There were times when I wasn't sure I wanted to, but I did.
Okay, so you obviously have different approach to weight loss.
Yes.
Totally. But did that happen gradually, or you had a turning moment in life when you kind of rethink this weight loss thing entirely?
Yeah, there was pretty much a moment. I did have an aha moment. So just a real quick little backstory. I started my wellness career in the traditional weight loss industry because 25 years ago, we were told that if we were thin, we were healthy. So the two of them were together. You would go to a doctor and he'd say, you need to lose 20 pounds so you can be healthy. So that's what I did. I entered the wellness world really because I loved the idea of holistic wellness, mind, body, spirit, but I just got lost in the diet. Everybody wanted to lose weight, and I was really good at it. And I was a personal chef, I was a personal trainer. I know a lot about food, and it was something that just kind of spiraled on me. And I was really good at it, especially for myself. I can go for days without eating. I starved myself. I would survive on 4 cups of coffee a day. 4 large cups of coffee with skim milk and equal. That is what I lived on. And I was also a personal trainer. So I built a body that could survive a 3-hour workout on a treadmill, you know, till I was gasping and, you know, couldn't breathe and sweating, and I thought I was doing everything right. Well, I had fast forward to 2014, and I had gotten hurt at work. And I was in terrible, terrible pain. This was a major trauma to my body. The next year, I lost my mother very suddenly. And that was just this overwhelming grief that I just didn't know how to handle, because also I had this extremely unwell father that he didn't know how to take care of himself. My mother took care of him. I lived in another state. It was very, very, very stressful. I forgot how to take care of myself. And when my father died, my body just collapsed. I went to bed for 2 weeks and I couldn't get out. And I started to notice what I had been burying for like the last 3 years of his life, where my hair was falling out. I had brain fog. I felt like I didn't have access to my brain. I had such terrible stress headaches through my neck into my head, coming around my head. My sinuses ached. I had heartburn that would burn my throat and my ears. I would eat and my belly was bloated. My joints ached. I couldn't sleep, but I couldn't stay awake during the day. And I literally just collapsed. And I didn't understand what happened, because after all, for the definition of healthy that I knew, I was the skinniest one in the room. So I must have been the healthiest one in the room. And how does the healthiest person in the room become so unwell? And I really went back to why I got into wellness to begin with. Food is medicine, mind, body, spirit, holistic. And about 6 months later, I was feeling much better. I was eating more food than I had eaten in years. My God, I think I had my first avocado for the first time 4 years ago, because fat makes us fat. So I did not pay attention to my body. I just knew that the size of my body, I should say. I just realized that I was starting to feel better. And one day I had somewhere to go that required much more than the leggings that I was living in. Anybody who knows me knows I love my leggings. I needed something more. I was going somewhere. And I was looking in my closet and I'm like, these clothes have not been on my body for like 9 years at this point. There's no way in hell I am fitting into them. I'm going to looking for the long sweater. I'm just gonna throw a long sweater over it. I'm gonna use a safety pin. I'll be fine. Nobody's gonna know. And I put the pants on and they fit. Well, how did I lose weight when I didn't cut calories? I ate more food than I had eaten in years. As far as the diet industry is concerned, I should not have lost weight. And I started following the research. And I realized that the diet industry is wrong. Cutting calories is wrong. We all know cutting calories doesn't work. We all know dieting doesn't work. We've all been there. You diet, you cut the calories, you lose the weight. The weight loss stops, we plateau. You want to lose more weight, you have to cut calories again.
So we always, in most cases, we always come to this point where there's a big moment that has to shift
Yes, that was the question. I went off on a tangent.
No worries.
I always do.
But what a good example. She started by herself, right? So after she tried to teach somebody else, she tried with herself. This is great. The title suggests a mental shift. What exactly are we rewiring?
There is a mental shift that needs to occur, but it's a real rewiring of the mind, body, spirit. It's accepting we have to accept that we have to do things differently. We're rewiring our thinking around dieting and around food and around how we move our bodies and how our hormones are acting and reacting. It's a whole rewiring, but it sounds complex, and it is, but it's kind of really easy to do.
All right.
So this is our next question. Mm-hmm. How would you summarize what does this mindset change is different than a diet approach? Because diet is widely known. Everybody's like, you need to diet in order to lose weight. Yeah. You need to cut calories, otherwise you don't lose weight. So how is this mindset shift different?
Well, we have to...
In practical terms, sorry.
Well, that's okay. So we have to... the mindset is we have to change our mindset. We've all tried the dieting. We've all tried it. We lost the weight. We stopped. We gained it all back. We know it doesn't work long term. It's a quick fix with some major consequences to our bodies. We have to acknowledge that it doesn't work, and there has to be a better way. There has to be another way. And there is.
Yes, and you're going to tell us
and I'm
all
gonna tell
about
you all about
it.
You say diet breaks something. What do you actually break in us? What do you think?
Our metabolism, our hormones, our hunger and satiety hormones, our muscle, the way we think about ourselves. We are failures because we can't sustain the weight loss. It doesn't number on the way we feel about ourselves.
You mention all those things, but you don't mention the food.
Well, food is, yes.
We'll go into that deeper. And before we do,
yes,
it's a part of title. Reset what diets broke, restore what your body always knew.
Yes.
What does that mean? Can you elaborate more on that?
Well, so rewire is, as I said, the hormones, the muscles, the way we feel about food, the way we feel about ourselves. But restore is our bodies intuitively know how to lose weight. People have been doing it for thousands of years. Well, we never actually had to lose weight back in the day, 1,000 years ago. But our bodies intuitively know what to do. We've just gotten in their way. with diet food, cutting calories and diet foods and protein shakes and all of that. So we've actually gotten in our body's way. When we get out of it, it can be restored.
All right, I tried the diet too, and I probably a lot of people they tried.
Yes.
Why so many diets fail? Like, even if somebody's like strict on it and all those kind of things, why we fail on a losing weight or be healthy?
Okay, so diets fail because when you cut calories, all right, you're living your life, you're doing your thing, you're eating the way you normally eat, and you're eating like, 3,000 calories, just in picking a number out of the air. You cut to 1,200 calories because that was always the magic number. Got to eat 1,200 calories. And then you start losing weight and then it stops. And the only way to lose weight again is to cut more calories. You lose a little bit more weight and then the diet ends. And then we go back to eating our normal way because that's what we were told to do. Well, what's actually happening is when you cut calories to 1,200 calories, your body slows your metabolism. So you're only burning what you're eating. Your body can't burn what you're not giving it. It's like a car. When you fill your car up, a full tank of gas, you go 400 miles. When you only fill it a half a tank, you're not going 400 miles. It doesn't have the gas. That's like your body. You can't burn what you don't have. So that's why the weight loss stops. We have all seen this. We all intuitively know. We've all plateaued. You cut again, you lose some more weight, your metabolism slows again. When you go back to eating your normal diet, your metabolism doesn't automatically go back to burning what you originally were burning. It slows. It stops slower. So what you're doing is you're gaining all that weight back. You now have a slower metabolism, so you're burning more. You're gaining more back. That is the physiology of our bodies. That's how they work. That's why diets don't work. Again, I said it, we all know it. We intuitively know it. We've all been there. We just didn't actually know what was happening. Exactly. When you then add on top of that, work out, gotta beat myself up in the gym, you're burning very little fat. You're actually burning your muscle. The less muscle you have, the slower your metabolism is. So we're slowing our metabolisms even more. That is why diets don't work.
Jan, thank you.
Interesting, right?
Yeah, thank you. Good to know.
Interesting.
So I thought I was doing something good.
You started giving us, you started rewiring us around this little by little. We're getting deeper in the conversation. That is, weight loss industry is a big industry, as we know.
$300 billion.
Billions of billions.
Mm-hmm.
What are some myths that people still tend to believe about weight loss?
Cutting calories and work calories in, calories out, the only way to do it. That's the biggest myth around weight loss. But it is so ingrained in our culture that it's really hard to dismantle. Yeah. I mean, it's really hard to dismantle that. Yes. That's the biggest myth. Diets, they just don't work.
You mentioned the culture.
Yes.
How has diet shaped our relationship with the food in an unhealthy way?
Every way that diets has shaped our relationship with food is unhealthy. The diet industry has told us there are good foods, there are bad foods. We cannot eat the bad foods, but those bad foods have changed every decade. First we shouldn't eat carbs, then we shouldn't eat fat, and then we shouldn't eat, gluten, and then, every year what's good food today is probably going to change in another 10 years, and they're going to tell us something else is wrong.
Yeah, like milk.
Now let's change. Let's do something else.
Yeah, I mean, the diet industry has really given us this just negative emotion towards food, that we're just constantly judging what we put in our mouths. And that is not a good place to be.
Definitely. If someone is stuck in a cycle of dieting right now, what is your first advice to start rewiring?
Well, I can't talk people into doing things my way. They have to come to terms with the fact that we've been lied to for decades. That is really hard to do. We believed that the people who were telling us to lose weight by cutting calories, they were supposed to care about us. It's very hard to accept the fact that after 40 years, you've been lied to, and I have to do something different. So once, if it doesn't work, we have to be able to accept and acknowledge that we have to do something different. That's really, that mindset is the first thing that people need to change and accept.
All right, thank you. Can you tell us like one or two small changes which everyone can do it? But before we go into there, I saw something.
You're not going to make me cry again.
No. I'm going to try differently now. No, you mentioned you are
discovered one of Berat's hidden talents. Make people cry.
I'm sorry. So you're saying like here you are not a doctor and you're not going to take the responsibility for, like we are all friends here, but somebody behind the screen. You are not a doctor. You are not suggesting to do something without recommendation of the doctor.
Right.
I think probably you can say that just in case we have it.
Yes, I'm not a doctor. Never. I don't even play one on TV.
So this one is just for the weight loss. If you have something, just please go to your doctor, get the suggestions, then read the book, then get the like.
I don't think we're going to that dangerous phase.
No, yeah,
Don't try this at home kind of stuff. Just general broad from the experience of 20 years.
Right, and also, I will never claim to be a doctor. I would never tell somebody that don't do what your doctor said you should do.
Yeah.
But also, when people are on medications, they need to get approval from their doctor to make changes. And that's really why I was legally obligated to put a disclaimer in my book.
Yeah, it's to be correctly and legally good. So
I think that's Berat's gonna make us
no, just in case we are like a lot of people, they're gonna watch us on YouTube and everywhere. So let's get back.
Yes.
Can you give us one or two examples
that they can start applying right away?
Okay, so we're going to take it from, they have to acknowledge that there's got to be a change. That is the first thing. We already talked about that. So they've acknowledged they need to do something different. The first thing I always tell people is, if you really want to just do something, we have to start with food. And I talk about building meals around protein, healthy fiber-rich vegetables, and healthy fat. But where the disconnect comes in is that the diet industry told us we have to do everything at once. Cut all the calories, do all the things, follow the diet, work out every single day. Every meal has to be perfect. What I tell people is start with 1 or 2 meals a week. We should not be fitting into the diet box. That diet box needs to fit into your life. Pick a couple of meals. Usually dinners are the easiest because we're kind of eating like that already. We're usually eating a protein and a vegetable. So we're almost there. So it just needs a little bit of tweaking. But don't try to do everything at once. Small, little habits will snowball. So that's the first thing, is just try to create a few meals a week, and as you get comfortable, add more. Second thing is, I don't believe in perfection. I do not believe that you have to have every meal perfect. I don't believe that you have to eat rabbit food. If my girlfriends are here, ask them how I eat. They are shocked how much food I consume. I eat full meals, but I eat relatively healthy. I also eat dessert. Go figure. I have a piece of cake every once in a while. So I think that's the second thing, is like, we have to stop demonizing food, even if it is a piece of chocolate cake. What you do consistently will have the outcome that you want. It's when the chocolate cake becomes consistent that it becomes a problem.
Yes. So instead of trying to create a quick fix, try to create a habit.
Exactly. It's got to be a lifestyle.
That becomes natural
Exactly.
over time.
Yes.
So, how much of weight loss is actually emotional rather than physical?
All of it. It is all emotional. We have been beating ourselves up and telling ourselves we're failures because the diet industry told us that if we didn't succeed on their, in their diets, we were bad people. We were wrong. We were terrible. We're going to be overweight forever. You don't deserve to be thin. I mean, we've beaten ourselves up. We've become emotional messes because the diet, these people that we don't even know, have told us we're not good enough. It's all emotional.
So all emotional, all psychological.
Yes. Boy, they did a real job. I'm listening to myself talk. They did a real job on us.
All right. Let's talk to the people like me. We tried many things, like to lose the weight and everything.
Did you read my book?
Not yet. I need to read it. So, how do you help people to rebuild the trust with their own bodies? Like, tell me, show me how.
That's really hard. But I believe in making these small changes and not blowing up your life. So this is a long-term thing. This is a lifestyle. When you start to make changes and you start to feel better, so whether you have a little bit more energy or you're sleeping better, your joints don't ache anymore, whatever it may be, as your body starts to change and feel better, the weight is going to come off. So we're not blowing up our lives. We are just taking these small little steps. These small little steps have a huge impact. You don't have to, if you actually do this the way I tell in the book, you can see outcomes relatively quickly. So I think it is, as they feel better, they realize that they can trust their bodies again.
This is
great. Yeah.
For people who tried a lot of things and they did some research and found out that stress, cortisol hormone,
yes,
it's one of the big factors that breaks that weight loss cycle and actually can even work against you.
Yes.
What is your advice? Do you have any advice, in fact, on how to lower that stress hormone to get into your benefit?
That's so interesting. I just wrote a workshop on this today. Yes. So, we can be doing everything right, but if we have a lot of stress, we are not going to lose weight. So stress is this hormonal cascade. I know we kind of feel like, oh, I'm stressed. I have a lot to do. And yeah, we feel that way, but it's just this crazy hormonal cascade that actually leads to our body storing fat. What we need to do is when we feel this stress and we feel uncomfortable, we have to have a way to kind of catch it in the moment. The easiest way to do that is with your breath. Your breath, it gives you a direct line to your nervous system. So it's breathing. There's a number of different ways to do it. You always want your exhalation to be longer than your inhalation. And doing that, you only need like 2 minutes. Breathe in, breathe out longer. Breathe in, breathe out longer. And that is going to help you in the moment. That's going to break the stress response in the moment. But we also have to manage our stress. We have to do things that are going to actually bring our stress response down so that the next time we're in that situation, our bodies don't react hard and fast. Because also remember, stress is a moment. It's just a moment. It's going to pass. So when we start to do things, and stress management looks different for everybody. Me, I love to hike. That is where I find peace. I find my heart rate just kind of calms down as I'm pounding myself up a hill. I enjoy meditation. I love to read. These things work for me. For someone else, it could be a bubble bath. It could be strength training. You have to find what works for you, but we have to make it part of our lives.
Yeah, find something you like.
Find something you enjoy.
Exactly.
In a short term, maybe just even a hobby that you enjoy. You don't have to take time. Like you don't have to commit yourself to meditating, even if you don't like that. Even like doing something as something you like during the day or during the week.
Exactly.
That can be beneficial as well, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay. Can you explain to us a little bit more how do people overcome guilty or shame tied to the food?
You know what? That's really, really hard. And I have a handful of people in my life that deal with emotional eating, and they're much better at it than I am. And I would bring them in. I would send people to them. I believe in staying in my lane.
All right.
There are people better at it than I am.
All right. Cool.
Yeah.
Let's go.
It is a hard topic.
Yes.
I totally agree.
Yeah. When you're dealing with emotions around food,
Yeah, exactly.
it's stress eating, it is emotional eating. It's a lot.
All right. We talked a lot about so many factors.
Yes.
That
there's
is a
more.
part, definitely, always. But what does sustainable weight loss looks to you?
Sustainable weight loss, to me, I is giving up the idea that my body needs to look a certain way, especially after 40, when we have hormonal changes that occur. We always talk about menopause in women. Men have andropause. It's also a hormonal change. We have to give up believing that I have so many people come to me and go, I want to look like this, and they were 25. We have to give that up. We really do have to give that up. It is just being sustainable is just eating without the guilt, without the emotion, just letting your body, getting out of your body's way. Eating real food, nourishing your body, giving it what it needs. Food is information. The diet industry just decided to leave this out. You cut out whole food groups and you're not actually giving your body what it needs to grow and build there are nutrients in food that, excuse me, do things to our body. If you're low in potassium, you can have anxiety. If you are low in magnesium, you can have trouble sleeping. You can have fatigue, low in iron, fatigue, low fat. Your hair will be brittle. Low protein, you're not going to build muscle. There are things in food that we need. We have to be okay with feeding ourselves.
Yes.
All right. If you let's talk about this one. Like, if it's not just about the scale and the numbers,
No.
how you can measure the success on this thing?
How you feel.
The success is how you feel?
How you feel. Yes. How you feel in your body. Do you have energy? How are you sleeping?
If you feel good and sleep good,
Yeah.
this is a success, right?
Absolutely. How are your
You see?
clothes fitting? So we put, pun intended, we put too much weight in the scale. That number, the scale is reactive. If you had too much salt yesterday, your weight is going up. If you're stressed, your weight is going up. If you're retaining water, your weight is going up. It's reactive. It's not actually, did I poop before I weighed myself? If I didn't, I'm going to weigh more than I actually do. Like things like that.
Do you think
absolutely.
you have people they get scaled before they go in and do
When
don't get it over there.
addicted to that scale, and
Yes.
They're gonna measure everything, right?
I get it. I was that person. I weighed myself every single day. I get it. It's hard to disconnect from it.
No, and also let's not forget that there is a whole industry behind this, spending billions of dollars to create this belief that we have to look in a certain way to fit in, and they in fact convinced all of us that we have to look in a certain way to be good. Now, from your experience, can you please share what is one of the most successful transformative stories with the people you have worked?
So I know you want a big story, but I don't have a big story.
Not necessarily.
Because what I see is people working, putting in the work, and making these small little changes that are snowballing. So they are sleeping better and feeling better in their skin and having less brain fog and, having less joint pain and being able to play with their grandchildren or running around with the dog in the backyard. Like, these are, when I work with somebody who has cravings every single day and then goes one day without having a craving, that's a huge win. They've put in the work. Just one day without cravings, when you have cravings every single day, is huge. So as that starts to snowball, it's really the little things. It's feeling good. It's, looking in the mirror and being.
So it's a journey.
Oh gosh, yeah. It is a journey.
I'm gonna go back again to the food.
Okay, let's go back to food. I like food.
Can someone enjoy the food and still lose the weight, but on a healthy way?
Absolutely.
How?
Because healthy food is good food. I am a chef. I am a classically trained chef.
Wow.
I love food. I eat. I go out to dinner. I don't eat processed food. I'm a chef. I have cooked for clients. I was a private chef, personal chef in Manhattan for 10 years. I cooked for families, I cooked for clients, not always families. Some of them wanted to lose weight. Some of them just wanted to eat. I was a personal trainer as well. So I abuse people's bodies in the gym along with my own. good food, when you cook your own food, you can do whatever, you can make it however you want, as flavorful as you want. Food is to be enjoyed. Opening up a box or a jar or a can, if you read those labels and you can't pronounce words on there, should you actually be putting that stuff in your body? Think about it. These are all chemicals. Why are we putting chemicals in our bodies? Again, it goes back to we're getting in the way of our bodies, allowing our bodies to do what they should be doing, what they know how to do. Chemicals and all these processed things do not allow that.
What are you going to say to people who say, oh, I don't have time to cook?
Oh, bullshit. That's what I said. Listen, it doesn't take a lot. If you know that you don't have time to cook, set yourself up for success. You do not have to cook every single meal. I get it. That's a lot. Not many people are classically trained chefs the way I am. But have a handful of meals that you are your go-to meals that are easy. Open a couple of cans and throw something together. That's all you have to do. It's just a matter of putting it together so that you know what's in it. If you're okay with eating it, you've put it together, you know exactly what's in it. I'm good with that.
Cool. Thank you.
Cool. Thank you. That's
I'm going to start cooking.
I used to teach people to cook.
You should actually.
That was one of the things I did, was I used to teach people to cook.
So let's, since we're in a bookstore, let's make this a little bit poetic and
Okay.
fictional.
Okay.
If you'd had a magical powers and you
do.
could change just one thing, and how the society approaches weight loss, what would you change?
I would make the diet industry disappear,
Wow.
because if diets worked, it wouldn't be a $300 billion industry. We'd all be happy with ourselves. We'd all be thin. We'd all be healthy.
This
Yes,
is a good
I
thing.
would like the diet industry to just go away.
Yes, this is like a bling.
There you go. They are stealing our money.
This is like lighting a bulb. That is such a great statement and so true.
All right. What was the most surprising breakthrough your clients experienced? Like, can you share some of that?
The most surprising?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
They was like, wow, I didn't expect that. But
Well, can I go back to myself? I lost weight when I thought I shouldn't have lost weight. I mean, that was pretty damn surprising.
wow.
So here's the thing. When you create something that is not tangible, you always wonder if it's going to work. And you always wonder what the outcome is going to be. Is this actually going to work? It worked for me. Is it going to work for everybody? Well, you're going to get out whatever you put in. But I'm always surprised when people come back to me after like 3 weeks saying, I'm starting to sleep just a little bit better, or I just have a little bit more energy, or I lost 3 pounds, or I didn't have cravings today, or I didn't eat chocolate, or what. And that always surprises me because I just, I'm like, oh, it really does work. Sometimes you need to be reminded.
Totally. So, what do you hope readers take away after finishing Weight Loss Rewired?
I hope they take away that that the diet industry is wrong, that we have damaged our bodies from dieting and cutting calories and working out harder. And there is a way, and it's not really that difficult. One little change done consistently for 3 weeks can have a huge impact.
Just 3 weeks.
Yeah, I really did. Okay, I'm just saying 3 weeks because I've seen it happen, but it really depends on the person
Yeah, exactly.
and what they're doing.
But scientifically, creating a habit takes
Exactly.
21 days. So if you can do it for that amount of time, then the rest should be easier.
What's one truth about the weight loss that most people aren't ready to hear about it?
You don't have to cut calories to lose weight.
Hmm.
You don't have to beat yourself up in the gym to lose weight. All you're doing is damaging your body. People don't want to hear. People are having a hard time accepting that, because again,
They
for
used to be
our
like,
lives, our whole lives, we were told by people that we believed cared about our welfare and our health that this is what we should be doing. You have to do it this way.
yeah, it's true, because like some of that is true. If you're not gonna eat for a long time, you're gonna lose the weight, but you're gonna damage yourself. You're gonna be stressed. You're gonna be nervous, because like a lot of things they go in. I tried myself, and you're gonna be completely different person. I was like beating everybody in the street. I don't think this is a good idea.
Right. So back to like my story for a moment when I got sick. All those years of not giving my body what it needed, in hindsight, I set myself up. I did not create a strong body. I created a body that couldn't handle real life happening to it. That's what the diet industry, what I bought into.
Thank you so much. That was an amazing conversation,
Thank you.
and we learned a lot. For people that want to connect, where can people connect with you and continue learning from your work?
So the name of my company is Donna J, letter J, Wellness. So it's donnajwellness.com, Donna J Wellness on Instagram and Facebook and all that, all social media.
We will also include all these links in our video, YouTube video in the description.
Mhm. And Donna at Donna J Skincare.
All right, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Before we finish, and anybody has a question for Donna?
Yes.
All right.
Hi. Yeah.
Hold on. We'll have a microphone ready for you. Yes.
Hi.
Hi.
Thank you. My question is, after menopause, please, and after you're 60, so you're way beyond it, but this is just not going anywhere. I've tried everything. So what do I do? Tell me. I'm all ears.
So you can't lose weight just because you don't like that. You can't lose it there. Your body gained weight wherever it felt like gaining weight. Your body is going to lose weight wherever it feels like losing weight. You could train the area and build muscle underneath the layer of fat, but you have to lose the layer of fat. And your body is just going to do whatever it wants to do.
True. Well,
How about loving it? Just love that fat.
I've always had a fair amount of this, but which is fine.
Right.
I guess.
Okay.
Still a little less. But good thing.
Well, we do. That is hormonal changes. Those are hormonal changes.
Okay, I'll shut up.
No.
You're the expert.
We have to realize that we are over a certain age, and our bodies have done amazing things through our lives. They have given birth. They have gotten us through. They have climbed mountains. They have gotten us through, hardship and heartache and heartbreak and stress and all of this. We have to come to a point where the shape of our curves, love those curves. Just love them. Be healthy. Do the best you can to be healthy, but we have to stop beating ourselves up because we don't look a certain way.
Junk in the trunk is the new thing.
There you go. There you go.
The best thing to stay healthy.
That's it.
Anybody else?
Well, we have one more question.
I appreciate your comment about metabolism changing.
Yes.
What are your thoughts on the new trend of intermittent fasting? Or how does that fit into a healthy lifestyle or program? Does it make sense at all?
I love intermittent fasting. I have been intermittent fasting for about 4 years now. I teach intermittent fasting, but I teach intermittent fasting the right way. Intermittent fasting is not for everyone. If you have high cortisol, we'll touch on cortisol. If you have overwhelming amounts of stress, intermittent fasting is not for you. If you are on certain medications, intermittent fasting is not for you. I don't believe in the what I've referred to as fad fasting, where, drink your coffee and eat fat bombs while you're fasting. That's eating, as far as I'm concerned. I teach fasting what I refer to as true fasting. You don't eat when you're fasting. You drink water. There is a place for it. But I also believe that it can get very dangerous when we're not eating. Like if we're cutting calories, if we're using it as another way to cut calories, I don't believe that is a healthy way to do it. The way I teach it, you have to nourish your body to fuel your fast.
Can we explain intermittent fasting for somebody who doesn't know what's that?
Yes.
So intermittent fasting is eating within a certain window. So you could do a 16-8. What does that mean? You fast for 16 hours and then you eat for 8. Or whatever, do the math, 24 hours.
Yes. 16-8.
So, 24. The problem, so that is what intermittent fasting is. But there's a lot of misinformation about intermittent fasting. There's crazy things. There's called an OMAD, 1 meal a day. I think that's a little extreme. That is just cutting calories.
Okay.
That is just.
Anita, she's doing intermittent fasting for a long time.
I was just wanted to add something. It's been years that I do intermittent fasting, and I do 16 and 8 window. Right. And I've been parrot about this lately, like trying to convince people that if you cannot do anything and implement anything else, then to me, this is the easier approach to start with, because you're still going to be eating enough during the day, but at the same time, you will give your body an opportunity to clean itself.
Yes.
Which happens when you don't eat between autophagy, the cleaning process where the body eats the broken cells, which is now scientifically proven with a guy a Japanese, I don't know his name, a scientist that won the Nobel Prize for it. He proved it scientifically that your body cleans itself if you don't eat in between 14 to 16 hours. It depends from the person. So if you don't do it for anything else, and if you don't do it for the weight loss or to look great, at least I try to tell people, do it to feel better, to feel healthier.
The whole second part of my book is about intermittent fasting.
Exactly.
You want to know how to do it right?
Anyone else?
Yes. Anybody else? Question?
Anybody else? All right. We don't have any more questions. Donna?
Ask me about GLP-1. That's shocking.
All right. Let's explain. Okay. Yeah. Let's talk about it.
Okay.
Let's talk because we didn't know. Yeah.
Since you mentioned.
Actually, somebody's always asking me about GLP-1. All right. So GLP-1s are saving lives. I'm going to put it out there. They are saving lives. People who are morbidly obese and taking GLP-1 and losing some weight to start to get just a little bit healthier, it is saving a life. You have type 2 diabetes, it is saving your life. My issue, now, first of all, what is GLP-1? GLP-1 is a hormone. We have natural GLP-1. What happens is that sometimes our brains don't hear it because we have so much noise. My issue is that when people are just taking it to lose weight, they're not being told to make healthy lifestyle changes. They're not being told, number one, why they're taking it. Number two, like it has to do with blood sugar. What is it? What's blood sugar? Why should I care? I just feel that that doctors are not doing their job. They're not doing their due diligence by explaining to people that they should make lifestyle changes. And because when you lose weight, if you're only on it to lose weight, you're going to go off of it. If you're not making lifestyle changes, healthy lifestyle changes, all of that weight that you lost is coming back, and then some, just like a diet. And anything positive is just going back to, you're just putting it all back on.
Thank you so much, Donna.
Thank you, Donna.
For this
Thank you everyone for coming in.
Thank you. So just to add, if you didn't purchase the book already, you can get it at the counter, and Donna will be doing the signing afterwards.
I got my pen.
Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you, Donna. Thank you.
Thank you. That was awesome. Thank you.